Hey, hi there. My name is Jen Peterson and I'm an independent SEINT artist. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to do a basic hack, or highlight and contour, I guess, using four main colors. So we're going to use a contour, a brightening highlight, a main highlight, and a lip and cheek. And I'm only going to use one brush when we do this. Today I've chosen to use the 3D brush. It's a very versatile brush. You can do your entire face using this one brush. All right, before we get started, I want to encourage you to not use any moisturizer before you put your makeup on. Unless you have like Sahara desert dry skin, you may find that the cream 3D foundation from SEINT is moisturizing enough. Now I have like mild to moderately oily skin, and I find that I get more than enough moisture from the cream foundation. One of the things I want you to watch out for though is that you may find that once you have applied your makeup, it feels a little sticky or tacky. That could be one of two things. It could be that you have applied too much, and believe me, applying too much is an extremely common problem. It happens with everybody. I still do it sometimes. A little goes a long way, and you're going to learn that as soon as you start playing around with your makeup. But it could also mean that your skin just needs a little bit of time to adjust. So if you're finding for the first few days that it's a little bit sticky and you know you haven't used too much, then just give it a couple of weeks. Use it every day or every other day for a couple of weeks, and your skin should adjust. And after that couple of weeks, if it's still like a little sticky or tacky, then we'll know for sure that you are in fact using too much. Okay, so let's get started. I have got bare skin today, and I'm just going to get started with my contour. I always do my contour first. There are so many different ways that you can apply this makeup. You could watch 5 different artists do a basic hack, and we're all going to do it a different way, and that's okay. That's the beauty of SEINT makeup, is you can just make it work for you. So I can give you some tips and some tricks. I can show you how to map out your face, which is what we're going to do today, and then you just play with it and you figure out what works for you. Okay, so let's talk contour. Contour is what is going to lift, shape, and define our features. So I'm using the round end of the 3D brush, and I'm just going to squish it a little bit here so it's a little bit more narrow, and dip into my contour. Now the contour is probably going to feel a little bit stiffer than the highlight, so you may have to just push a little bit harder. We're going to start at the top corner of our ear and drag our contour down our cheekbone. We don't want to go into the hollow of our cheek, which is down here. We want it to ride right along that cheekbone, and if you just put your finger in there, you can feel it. We want it to start in our hairline and end just before the colored part of our eye, and not go any closer to our mouth than how high the bottom of our nose is. So all of that being said, let's check it out. So we start up in our hairline, and we just draw a line down our cheek just like that. All right, so we also want to make sure that we curve the line up, because that curving is going to help create the illusion of lift. All right, so we'll do the other side, and I want you to remember that contour is an ashy shade that mimics shadow, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to mimic some shadows and give our face some depth and dimension. A lot of people make the mistake of using bronzer as a contour, and bronzer is actually a warm shade. And so it doesn't, I mean, it can work, but it doesn't do as good a job as a nice ashy shade like our contours. Okay, forehead is the next spot. I'm still using my contour, and I have quite a large forehead. And so what I like to do is contour all about halfway down my forehead to about here. So that's like almost like 1.5 inches of contour. You always want to make sure that you're pushing your contour up into your hairline. If you have a shorter forehead, then you're not going to want to have 1.5 inches of contour, obviously. You can find where that center spot on your forehead is and contour to that spot. You can see already that we're creating a little bit of dimension. There we go. Okay, and I do like to drag the contour down the side of my face by my hairline, almost attach it to my cheek contour. Okay, here we go. We're going to move on to our jawline. So we pick up a little bit. If you grab onto your jawline down here, your jawbone, you can feel there's a little ridge there. We want to go right on the kind of inside of that ridge. We don't want to bring this on the front part of our face. What we're doing is we're just kind of sharpening up that jawline, creating that nice, sleek, sharp jawline. And I always like to, after I apply on this spot, I like to drag it down right away so that I don't forget to do that part, because you definitely don't want to have a dark line of contour along your jawline like that. Okay, a lot of women like to contour their bottom lip or put some contour on their bottom lip. So just under that lip, I'm just going to use my finger and apply a little bit of contour. There we go. Just like that. And that creates the illusion of like a pouty, bigger bottom lip. Now let's do our nose. So I'm going to use my 2 pointer fingers, and I'm going to pick up some contour on both of those fingers. We'll put them together. Oh, I need a little more there. We'll put them together so that my fingernails are pointing out. I want to find the center of the bridge of my nose, and I'm just going to lightly run them down my nose so that there is a space of uncontoured skin between them. I'm going to pick up a little bit more and go again. And I'll start just a little bit lower, try and line it up. And there we go. Nose contour, pretty easy way to do it, right? A lot of people like to not contour their nose, but when you contour your nose, it really helps to like narrow it. If you've got a wide nose, it just helps to give a little bit of dimension. And yeah, I really like doing it now. Okay, so that's it for contour. We're going to move on to a brightening highlight, and the brightening highlight, you guys, is my absolute favorite. So I'm going to use the pointy end of the 3D brush. And when we are applying our brightening highlight, it is what gives us that lit from within, dewy, 3-dimensional glow that we're looking for, okay? So we want to apply our brightening highlight in the center of our face. So from the corner of your eyebrow to the corner of your eyebrow, down to the point of your chin and back up again. That's what we call the triangle of light. You might hear that sometimes. So let's start between our eyebrows. We're going to just contour that, or not contour, we're going to add some brightening into that space in a triangle shape. We're going to put some brightening down the center of our nose, on our Cupid's bow, and in the center of our chin. And now this is my favorite part. We're going to put some brightening under our eyes. So this is the darkest spot on your face. So you want to make sure that you get quite a bit in there, and then just dab it under your eye. I don't swipe because I have some fine lines in there, and dabbing is a much better way to apply the makeup on those fine lines. I bring it down to the corner of my nose, and then I make another triangle up to the corner of my eye, and then I just fill that triangle in. There we go. And I bring it down. Basically, you can see it's like matching up with my contour there. Okay. And I'll show you on that. Look at how bright that looks. It just looks like glowy. I'll show you on this side. If we just put the brightening under our eye, look at what happens. We just draw attention to that spot under our eye, which for so many of us, we don't want to draw attention to that spot. So let's fix that up, and we'll just draw that triangle and fill it in. And you'll see I'm dabbing again. Get that corner up there. Okay, there we go. There, you guys, look at that. Okay, the next step is our main highlight. Now, because this makeup is done in one layer, you can see that I don't really have a lot of space to put my main highlight. That's why I like to map it out this way: contour, brightening, and then main highlight, because I know where everything should go and I'm not really overlapping a whole lot. So I'm going to go back to the round end of my brush, pick up a little main highlight, and put it on my lower jaw. There we go, around my chin. I always forget to do the underside of my nose. So we'll do that. And again, you can see that I'm just dabbing it along. I'm not swiping it on. I'm dabbing and blending as I go. You can see there's not very many spaces that I actually have to put my main highlight. Don't want to forget my nose, and especially because we did all of that amazing contouring, we don't want to swipe on our nose. We just want to dab. Because if we swipe too much, we're going to lose that contour. Might have to add a little bit of brightening on my nose when we're done here. Okay. And I always like to make sure I pull it down my neck as well. There we go. Okay. The next part I'm going to do is make sure that my contour lines are blended in. So I'm using the round end of the brush again, and I'm just going to do a circular motion and blend up. You see how much more natural that looks now? So just circular motion and blend up. Before we move on to our lip and cheek, I'm going to go back into the brightening, and I'm just going to add a little bit more down the center of my nose because we sort of lost that when we were putting our main highlight on. There we go. All right. Okay, so the last part that we're going to do today is a lip and cheek. So the one I'm using today is one of my favorites. It's called Ruby. I'm just going to pick a little bit up. Again, a little goes a long way. A little bit up. Look at that's not very much at all. We're just going to apply it. I like to go just a little bit further back from the apples of my cheeks and just dab it on. Just kind of run it along the top side of your contour. Again, like look, I'm hardly picking up any at all, you guys. These lip and cheeks are so pigmented that you don't need to use very much. And then if you want to go brighter, then you just keep adding. They're buildable. They're amazing. So we'll just put a little bit more there. Okay. And then on the lips, like I said, it's a lip and a cheek. And we're finished. Let's see. There you go. That's it. That's it. If I hadn't been explaining and demonstrating, it probably would have only taken me 5 minutes. So there you go. You're all set and ready to get started with your first palette, your first hack, and I can't wait to see how it goes. Thank you so much, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. Bye.